Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my part 2 out finally. Man, I've got a lot to cover on this part 2. If you haven't watched my part 1, please watch it. I'll have a link in the description box below. Also, for the events, the timeline of events that I've talked about in part 1 and I'm going to talk about in part 2, those are pinned to the top of comments on that part 1 and this part 2. So either one, you can check out either one. Pinned to the top of comments are all the events. Now, again, in my timeline, these are all my best guess. Okay, I'm approaching 18,000 views on my part 1 right now as I looked last, right as I'm doing this video right now, and I haven't had this many views for gosh, maybe a couple years. I used to get 70,000, 80,000, 100 and some thousand on different, especially iPad Go videos and such. I've proven that U-boob, as I call them, have been shadow banning me in so many different ways. I've literally looked for specific titled videos of mine, and I couldn't find them. I mean, all kinds of ways I've pretty much proven that. And then all of a sudden, it's just like all the things have been taken off. I don't know how, whatever. I'm just thank the Lord for this. And this is getting out like crazy now. So this is important. I think it's confirming that what I'm saying right now, because if you look at my channel, I haven't had this many in a while. I mean, I had up to, 8 or 9 or whatever, but that was months ago. But not this much in a long time, maybe a couple years. It's been crazy. So anyway, my details are pinned to the top of comments on all the whole timeline. And then, I got so many comments, a lot of supportive comments for sure, but more, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are massively skeptical. Of course, I understand that, but you don't have to be rude and mean and say all kinds of stuff. I guess you don't care and all that stuff. Well, that's fine. But I'm trying to warn people of what's coming. And you can disagree with me all you want, have maybe you're an ultra religious, nutball, and you want to, tell me how I'm off on the scripture and whatever. I've been studying the scriptures, the Bible, for 30 some years, 33 years now, almost 34 years now. And I know Greek and Hebrew, and I've been doing this for a long time. But this channel is basically to show you the stuff that's in predictive programming in the mass media, and also iPad Go 2 being a movie, I should say, that's actually listed on IMDb, and a legitimate movie that's an animated movie that was produced by a guy I'm going to talk about at the end. Okay, and this is he is a Freemason. I literally had another Freemason email me, and then we did some correspondence back and forth, and he was showing me emails from him that he took screenshots of, that they were corresponding back and forth. He said he wanted to get him to admit who he was, and he did, and he showed me those things. I also been I've talked to years ago with a Freemason that's a 32nd degree Freemason, and he had a huge meeting in the Southeast with all these this huge meeting back in 2008, and they basically said that there was a guy from Canada, which this guy is from, and they showed iPad Go 2, and they called it the plan. And that was before Obama was elected, and there was several people who were going, some were like, oh yes, hey, he's the guy, and other people were like, I don't know about that, and they didn't know who the guy was going to be, ultimately the Antichrist being their ultimate boss and everything. Anyway, I've talked about this for a long time. Anyway, I'm going to get into a lot of these details of a couple scenes, really, and I have over 20 hours of, if I had to guess right now, of scenes and things in iPad Go that are all showing these things I'm showing. And so I could just show what I can for as long as this video is. So we'll go ahead and get right to it, okay? So I don't know why this does this every single time. Anyway, so I am the Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube, and just Exalted Lamb 1 on Telegram. There'll be a link in the description box below too if you want to link into Telegram, which is through your phone number, and you'll get notifications. Again, I've had past several months and years, I have many people respond to me on emails and even on my channel saying, hey, YouTube turned my notifications off, and I didn't know, and I didn't even know you were still doing these. I thought you had stopped or whatever. It's, hundreds of people. I mean, anyway, so I am the Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube and Exalted Lamb 1 on Telegram, and my motto is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them, Ephesians 5:11. Again, I get all kinds of ultra-religious people out there that think it's oh, I'm doing numerology, you're doing numerology, and you're doing, and all this stuff. And no, I'm exposing, just like what it says here. There's other scriptures in the Bible that talk about that too. Calculate the number of the beast, which is 666, Revelation 13:18, and we're supposed to, whoever is wise, Lord is teaching me how to be wise in these things, and I'm calculating these things. And that's what it says. I mean, there's all kinds of scriptures about that, but you forget all that stuff, or you don't know, or you're completely ignorant of all that. And that's unfortunate. So if you have any kind of negative comment, okay, and by the way, I make mistakes. I make mistakes here or there on my videos once in a while, not too much, but once in a while I do, and just get over it, okay? I can't go back and change it once I put it out. Or if you think I made a mistake and I didn't make a mistake, that's on you, whatever. So, man, it's amazing how many negative comments I'll get on people who cannot see the forest for the trees and all the horrible things that are coming. And I'm just trying to show you the best evidence I can. And I'm sorry, but some of the things the Lord shows me, they blow my ever-loving mind. And that you can't see that. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So, but anyway, moving on. So, this is the scene in iPad Go that, or my thumbnail, I'm going to kind of break down. I said I would do in part 1. Now here's part 2. So we're going to break down some stuff. Anyway, and there's more things in it that I'm not even going to get to on this video because it's just so much. These things are multi-layered. This movie, iPad Go 2, you can check it out. By the way, there's no iPad Go 1. iPad Go 1, in a sense, was when George Bush was in the classroom where the kids were reading The Pet Goat, and that's when 9/1 and then 1 happened, and he looked like deer caught in the headlight. I mean, he looked just like an idiot, but he's all part of the whole thing. He was all part of the whole thing, and then he just sat there for a while when he heard the news that it happened, but he knew it was going to happen and all that. He's all the top. Him and his father were in Skull and Bones and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so I mean, this stuff's crazy. I mean, there's so much, and then there's no iPad Go 3 or 4. People say, "Oh, I was the iPad Go 3 or 4." No, those are not real movies. They're not even listed as real movie, and they're not affiliated with this. This is the only one. There's only iPad Go 2. There's not a 1. There's not a 3. There's not a 4. Okay, I want to address that as well. So I'm gonna get right into this scene in particular. Okay. And there's a few others I'm going to talk about, but mainly this scene because there's so much in this to show you how deep this well is of each of these scenes. And these are all picture puzzles, and they're timelines. There are multiple timelines in each scene. Every scene's iPad Go 2 is technically, till you get to the Heliofont logo at the end, 7 minutes. But there's 27 minutes or 2 sevens, 27 minutes, 27 seconds or 2 sevens of credits at the end. And that's all for reasons. And I'm just going to tackle some of that in this video, but not all of it. So right in here, you have this woman who's in a, what's it called? A chador or something like that. Anyway, I forgot. And that's all the numbers for this. And there's a dead boy here. And later on, he does a whirling dervish and goes up into the moon, the full moon. It comes back to life, whatever. That's all the Antichrist. That's symbolic of Obama and the Antichrist in general. Okay, but right here you have, and I haven't shown that. I could have shown this as well. This is a clamshell, and this is Venus. Here, in a sense, like the Birth of Venus by Botticelli, and it's also mixed with the Pietà. This is supposed to be Mary, or the false Mary and the false Christ, Jesus laying dead in her on her leg, basically on her lap. And that's the Pietà. So when you mix these two together, there's all kinds of symbolisms and stuff about the death and birth of the Antichrist, the false Christ, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there's a lot here. So let me jump into this. So right in her face right here, so many things. Okay, like right here, it literally predicted. So the iPad Go I've shown over the years, I've shown about 60 some events that iPad Go predicted, and it was back in 2012 it was released, but it was actually shared with the Freemason community all over the world starting in around 2008. Most people don't know that. And I have that from 2 Freemasons that have shown me stuff and give me information secretly and such, that's the case. So Super Bowl 57 is right here. We got okay, and I'll show you. This is, have you seen my I'm going to go back here for a second. Right here is the Heisman. Wow, the Lombardi Trophy, not Heisman. Lombardi Trophy right here in her head and her arm. Okay, how would that be like that? And then all these other things I'm sharing. I mean, just these are not massive coincidence, massive off the charts coincidence. This is all planned. Okay, so again, go back to here. We have Super Bowl 57 shown. How? Well, this is E right here. That's 5, and then they like to do things backwards, upside down, and backwards, opposites, like I shared on part 1. If you haven't watched part 1, please watch that first. It'll help in a lot of things to see this and the other things I've shared. And then that's a 7, so 57. And then right here, I have this in red because it's the KC logo backwards. Okay, there's a reason for all this. Again, they like to do things upside down, backwards, opposites, all that stuff. And then right down here, or right over here, we have, and I'm going to show this. I'm going to show a thing that's lit up here a little bit so you can see this in a second. But this is a backwards D, and this is kind of a bent down C. So what's that? DC. Well, that's also DC, but it's 4-3. And it just happens, it's a massive coincidence that Super Bowl 57 was on the 43rd day of the year in 2023. That's a massive coincidence. Yeah, right. So it's the 43rd day of the year. Again, I lighten this up so you can see. So you see the D right here. You see the V, and then this is an E, and this is a C, this direction. But they're also different in different directions because they show it's multifaceted. It shows so many things. Okay, and then D is made up of 2 and 2, 2 plus 2, and then C. So this was also in 2023. See how these are multiple things. These numbers show multiple things. That's why this timeline, this particular timeline in February, and I've been looking at it for a while, is so encoded with so many things, and it makes so much sense because all these numbers mean each other's. I like to call them incestuous numbers. They produce the same numbers. They're numbers that produce the same other numbers in different versions and different forms, but the same stuff. It's really crazy. So again, iPad Go was released back in 2012, and this is predicting Super Bowl 57 that they would win. They have this right here, and then this 57, the day of the year and the year in here. It's crazy. And this is all, and if I'm just making this up, how could I possibly make this up? I mean, no, the Lord Jesus, who I know, is giving me breadcrumbs on a trail to show me things, and I have to put it together and conclude. And sometimes I don't make the exact conclusions. Sometimes I do. I predicted a lot of hundreds of symbolic events on the exact symbolic days. The first day, the 4th and 5th day, the 7th and 8th day, the 11th and 12th day of the timeline, and all that stuff. And I've also predicted exact events before they happened. People have asked me here and there, oh, what are they? Tell me what they are. Like, I don't waste my time with that. Go look at my videos. You'll find out. I don't have time to answer everybody's question, by the way, either. When I go through comments, I'll answer some things. Some people are just massive jerks or whatever, and I'll share some things. And sometimes it gets annoying and whatever. And sometimes a lot of people, there's a good amount of people that are nice and whatever, and I just heart you or whatever, and that's it. But I got a family. I have 4 kids and a wife and other things going on as well. So I can't just like bend over backwards to answer everybody's questions. A lot of people don't even do that on YouTube channels. So at least I do that to some degree. And so give me a break. I'm a real person. I have a real life, and and I'm doing my best to warn people. And I live off any kind of donations because that's what the Lord wants me to do. And if you have a problem with that, again, any of the stuff I say or do, you have a problem with it, just go somewhere else. Don't waste your time or my time coming here and give me a hard time. I'm just trying to help people. That's it. A majority of the stuff for sure that I share is coming. I have to guess on the other stuff. The biggest stuff I've seen in dreams and visions as of 9.5, 10 years ago, and even recently in the last few years, I've had dreams and visions of a lot of these things. And so then I have to show you some kind of evidence that's out there, and the Lord's guided me to these things in mass media and even iPad Go. So let's keep going here. Okay, again, this is predictively programming. Also, this event in 2017 is predictively programming the event that's this year, and because that was in 2023, which is also DC hiding 2 plus 2 and 3, but it's also predictively programming 2, 2, 3. See the 2, 2, 3 as in 2 plus 23. Again, predictive programming is something that's behind the scenes to get your subconscious to believe what's coming in the future with imagery and numbers and all kinds of stuff, and on mass. So the masses believe, and the masses will end up fulfilling a self. How do you say that? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy from the masses when they start believing things in the media, and then they happen because they. That's what the enemy's trying to do. He's trying to get people to en masse to believe these things. For example, like zombies or aliens. I mean, 100 years ago, no one talked about zombies or hardly ever aliens. But it's because it's been predictive programming in movies and TV and all that stuff that people believe. More people believe right now, actually, in the United States, that I think Barna did a research about more people believe in the United States believe that aliens exist than even Jesus existed, and there's like massive evidence that he existed. Now the debate is, okay, was he the son of God? Did he die and come back to life? But I mean, that's just silly. But people have been programmed to believe that aliens are, even though we haven't even 99.9999% of people haven't even seen any evidence exactly of of an alien. But they will show up. There will be a false alien invasion that's in my timeline, and then there'll be these false alien benefactors that basically seeded our planet, and both there'll be demons and there'll be put a big light show in the sky, look like big craft showing up at the end of this timeline, and then Obama's the 44th Pres will be the guy who's the mediator between us and them and all that stuff, and then people will get the Marxals and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, let me keep going here. Okay, so again, this is 5 and 7, this is 4 and 3, and then right here, the eyebrows turn to ones over here, and I can't tell you why. I just kind of follow the progression, and it's taken years and years to understand how some of these come together, and a little bit of guiding here and there from the Lord, and him telling me things and saying, don't go here, go here, go here, there's something here, and things like that. And that's why you need to know him. That's why not just because of this, but just in life, there's things you need to know. Don't go here, do this, don't do this, wait on me. Okay, now do this. I mean, all that stuff. That's what a personal relationship with Jesus is all about. Whether you believe that or not, you'll stand before him someday, and whether you either took advantage of that or you didn't, and hopefully you did. So, and hopefully when these events come, they are designed to separate the sheep from the goats, the believers from the unbelievers, the people who will accept God and those who won't. But God's so wonderful, even in the evil that the enemy wants to do, he's trying to harvest good out of it. The enemy wants to destroy everybody and keep everybody from God with the mark and all that kind of stuff. But God's so good. He's even in the midst of this horrible evil that the enemy's planning. He plans to pull people out of it and save them in the midst of all this. And it's just crazy. It's amazing. He's amazing. I know him. I know the Lord. They're just a massive blessing to me. And anyways, let's just keep going here. So we have. So E backwards is 3, and then 1, and then a backwards 7. And then, so that's right here, 3, 1, 7. And then right here, we have the C right here that you saw, this funky C, is still backwards, but it's a C, and that's 3, 1, and then D is forward here, and so that's 3, 1, 4. What's 3, 1, 7, 3, 1, 4? Well, 3, 1, 7 is hiding. Not only is hiding a number of things. 3 is 2 plus 1, and then 17. So that's 2, 17. Or you can look at it, 1 is a slash also, 2/17, or 2 and then 1 from 17 is 16. And I explained this in my other video and other videos, how the rule of Kalel, you can take away any 1, or, take away any 1, and then 1 before anything takes it away. Just like in Roman numerals, I from X or 1 from 10 equals 9. And because it's a Roman formula, and this is all Roman Empire, revised Roman Empire stuff. Anyway, 2 and then 1 from 17 is 260. So we have 216 and 217. Then what's 314? 314 is 2 plus 1 and then 14. So we have 214 Valentine's Day, and the day before, which is 1 from 14 is 13. 2, 13, and 14. The day before Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day is the first attack day. That's right there. And then we have 317 itself and 314. Well, what are those by themselves? Look, that's the death day of the So Trumpel and Nobamazels die on the 216th day of the year. Again, that was 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. It's also the day of the year that Obama was born. I said in my part 1, but it's also he's going to be his death day, February 16th, and that's his death day, and that's his reported death day. And Trumpel's, he's going to die in Trumpel Tower. Somehow he's going to be there. People won't realize that, and then until it happens and they say he's going to die, but he won't really actually die, but people will think he's dead. As far as the world is concerned, he's dead, but he'll turn into somebody else. He knows that he'll be something else because he is the highest Knights Templar / Scottish Freemason, both. He's a Grand Master in both. Anyway, and that's why. And then look at it. You see this here? You see this? This is the day of his death, right? Or the reported death, and Obama. Okay, now watch. Not only I showed you that was 317 when I showed you over here, 317, right? Well, Trump was shot on backwards July 13th. July 13th, it was shot. So that was forecasting that he's going to actually be killed and attempted to be. That was an attempt, but this is going to be. He was actually reported dead on 7/13 backwards. See how that works? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And then this one, 314th day of the year, is the day that Obama and the Pope are going to be reported dead on this day. And then 3 days later, they're going to come back to life. So Obama's going to come back to life. And then when they both show up on the 25th, which is 225, or February is the 12th month of Roman calendar, 1225, the false Christmas, or the false birth of the Christ. The Pope's going to say, "Oh, he came back to life, and then he rose me from the dead," and then he's going to be his false prophet. And I've shown tons of evidence that they're both synced together on that in so many ways. Anyway, so then there we go. And then also 317 is not only the 317th day of the year, and that's 2117 or 216 and 217, February 16, 17. It's also 3 plus 1 is 4 and 7, and 4 plus 1 is 4 and 4. Okay, so what is that? Well, over here we have the 43rd day of the year, and then over here we have the 44th day of the year. 43rd back in 2023 was the day of the Super Bowl. 44th day of the year is the first attack day, 213. I just showed you 213, 214 out of 314. And then 47th day of the year is that other day. This is the day with 317 days left over. The 17th. And then the February 17th, and then this is the actual day of the year, the 16th. So we have 216 and then 217 days left over and day of the year. Crazy. You see, hopefully that makes sense. There's so much in all this. And then we have right here, we have KC. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. C is 3. That's 11-3, but that's backwards 311. So look, we have 317, 314, 311. What are those? Well, there you go. 317, I already said. 314, days left over on 217, the reported death day of Obama, for example. 314, the Barack Obama, lightning falling from heaven on that day. Satan goes into Obama's dead body. And then, or I call him Stinky B.O., BO being, yeah, anyway. And then right here is 311. Right here is 311, KC backwards. Right here, 311 is the last day, 23rd and 24th, or when the nukes go off in 23 cities, finally destroying the United States. And if you don't believe that's going to happen, I'm sorry, but it's going to happen. It's in so much predictive programming. It's outrageous. It's outrageous how much. And if you're ignorant of that, I'm sorry, but it's coming. Now, we'll see if this timeline is correct or not. I don't know. But some version of this timeline is going to happen at some point. Believe it or not, I've done so much research on this for so many years now, got so much details. I have hundreds of thousands of pieces of data, massive dreams, and all kinds of accounts of other people as well, and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. It's off the charts. And once some of these first-day events happen, like are on my timeline, and you see them happen, then you'll know this stuff's coming. The majority, at least. Okay, so then we have, again, that's the 311th day of the year, which just happens to be, like I said, 2 plus 23. Remember, it was over here, it was 223, or 2 plus 23. And that is also February 23rd is the day with 311 days left over. And over right here, see this mushroom, and then there's a cloud upside down right here, mushroom cloud. And then that is, that just represents an attack day on Valentine's Day, which is the 13th, and then Valentine's Day is on the 14th. But also 1 plus 4 is 5, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So we literally have also right here the mushroom clouds going off on 223, the day with the 54th day of the year with 311 days left over. And this is all a massive coincidence. And this is a perfect mushroom. And this is a cloud upside down, a black cloud. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then I'm just making this up. I mean, if you can't see that there's got to be something here, okay, maybe you don't agree exactly what I see and all that. But if you don't see that there's something here, man, you are blind as a bat. And I pray for you. I thank the Lord for waking you up. And unfortunately, it's going to take these massive events, hopefully, for someone that's stubborn as you, to maybe wake up. If you believe and you see some of this, good for you. The Spirit of God is working in you somehow, or even just some kind of light bulbs going off by the grace of God. I mean, because most people should be able to see some kind of logic in these things. That's why they're put there, to be able to be harvested for messages. These are messages by evil that are required by God for these evil demons and the people that are moved by these demons, unknowingly or knowingly, or some percentage of that, both sides, to be reveal these truths. And I've had all kinds of people say, "How do you know that? Is that in the Bible?" It's there. There's several places. I'm not going to get into that. God requires these things to be shown out, and also says at the end it will be revealed. These things will be revealed more and more like by people like me, and it won't be such a that's said all over. I mean, the prophets in Revelation, in a lot of things. And I'm sorry if you don't know the Bible enough. Unfortunately, also, I want to say, not only are most Christians bad examples of what a Christian is, also, they don't know the Bible whatsoever. And even more important than that, this might be, I don't care if this is blasphemy to some people or not, knowing Jesus is even more important, because he shows you how the Bible should be interpreted. He shows you. The Bible is designed to show you who Jesus is, and then you learn his voice, and you line it up. Oh, okay, does this, what he's saying, match up with the Bible? But then from there, you know him and you learn from him, and you are guided by him, and then he shows you those details in the Bible that they kind of check each other. And that's how this works. If you don't understand that, I'm sorry, but that's how it works. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. And then, like, this was the Super Bowl last year where the Chiefs won again. They won back in 2023, and this is 2024, Super Bowl 58. Okay, and the programming is even right here in front of your face, and all over them. It's all over. It's in every scene and everything, and all their numbers, and I mean everything. I'm gonna give you an example of that right now. Again, we have KC backwards is 311. 3 is C, K is 11. I'm just gonna do it backwards. Again, they do things backwards, upside down, and backwards, opposites, all that. And then look, San Francisco is SF. 19 is S, 19th letter of the alphabet. F is 6. Oh, look, 19 plus 6 is 25. Oh, there you go, year 25, and the day with 311 days left over. Which, I wonder what that is. It is, and then look, this is a meteor going into LV, Las Vegas. L is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3, and then V is 22. Oh, 322, skull and bones. Death. Backwards, it's 223. So again, we have February 23rd, when the nukes go off, the day with 311 days left over in year 25. And then what's I? I is not just 111 in Roman numerals, it's also 999. I is 9, 999, and then upside down backwards, that's 666. So this is the message that you do not see with your normal naked eye. I see it with spiritual eyes, and what my knowledge that is built up over time, and checking things against other things, and have thousands of bits of information, and the Lord here working behind the scenes in my brain to say, okay, look at this, don't look at this, okay, this is suspect, okay, this is more right, and then guide me and be able to sift off and go through funky things and find the best things and the things that support other things. Okay, that's how this stuff works. Deductive reasoning and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so literally you have February 23rd, the day with 311 days left over, in 25, 666. I mean, seriously, bam. And then right here, this is the day, this is the 14th, shown here when the meteor comes down and hits Las Vegas. Okay, like it's shown in the part 1, but also I've had it in other videos. But that's 1 plus 4, and that's the 5th day in my timeline. Okay, and so 5 is also, 2 plus 3, or 23rd. 23rd is 5, and 1 plus 4 is 5. That's why they're showing the same thing. It's 5th day numerology in this attack, and so this is technically the first attack day. when the meteor hits, and then the people turned to zombies that took the hokey pokey, the three different kinds of hokey pokeys with three different kinds of zombies. The Lord showed me, and then all the way up to the very last attack day, the 23rd and 24th. But this is showing the 23rd, for example. Nukes was going off in 23 cities, and that's the final attack. And that's all red, blood, 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 blood. White is sacrifice. White is purity for the sacrificing of the altar, and then red is blood. Okay, sorry, but and by the way, white red equals 666. White red equals 666. White red equals 6, and that's what the dominant colors here. And then forget about white, red, black. I'm not getting into that right now. Okay, so then when you take these two symbols, like I said, the mushroom and the upside down cloud, so then that tells you that they're two separate directions. So this is right side up, and then this is upside down. So this is an upside down cloud. Now, you can believe it or not, this is a perfect mushroom. The shading, the everything in this image, this is a perfect mushroom, really. I mean, it could be more perfect for me. I mean, some people could debate, of course, a lot of people would. This is a cloud, but this is a dark cloud or a black cloud, and it's this direction. So when you go like this, believe it or not, mushroom right here plus cloud or dark cloud, you got mushroom cloud. Okay, black or and which is upside down normally right here. Okay, mushroom cloud. That's a nuxels, of course, going off. I say it that way because of the YouTube algorithms. Al Gore rhythms. He likes to dance. Anyway, it's not a pretty sight. Al Gore rhythms, not a pretty sight. Okay, and then so again, that's NM 1413. Okay, which is again. Well, first of all, we have an attack, because when the that was depicted in Army of the Dead and other movies when a nuxels goes off in Las Vegas. Okay, but it's really going to be some kind of version. It's not really going to be a meteor, but people will be told it's going to look like a meteor coming down and striking, and it's going to have like a nuclear type explosion. Now, listen, when I say all this stuff about nuclear and all that stuff, who knows what the heck it really is? Okay. I mean, I have, the weapons, the DEW weapons they've been using for fires and all kinds of stuff, and for earthquakes and fake earthquakes and all that kind of stuff. Who knows what they're using? Okay, people go, oh, they're not going to really use these new things and all that stuff. Okay, I don't know. I can't say for sure I know because I'm not there watching what they're actually using. But to the masses, they're going to look like nuxels, and then it's going to look like a meteor hitting. And so it's going to be like a mushroom cloud hitting a mushroom cloud, but who knows what the source is. But most people are going to see it looks like a meteor coming down. So it's going to be fake to some degree. It might be, who knows how. And I don't know. And I have some speculation about it, but I'm not going to get into it. So again, we have 1413. Okay, so that's the first attack when the meteor comes down on the 13th and 14th. But again, it's also 5-4. And then 5-4 is also, because that's the 54th day of the year, which is the last attack day. And then that's also backwards 225. 4 is 2 plus 2, 5. So that's 2025. See how these numbers produce other numbers that are basically the same, where they go along with it so well? That's why this timeline is so perfect to me, because they keep producing each other, and they mean multiple things. If you don't understand the timeline of events, you're never going to solve this stuff or understand, because they meld over each other, and they're on top of each other, and these numbers, and the Lord's helped me sort this out over the years, and it's taken me this long to understand how this stuff works out, and the order of things and all that. Okay, believe it or not, whatever, it's up to, but again, hey, listen, if you want to come here and you want to say trash stuff to me and just not be reasonable, okay, you don't have to agree with me, fine, I don't care about that. But if you want to be a jerk about everything, you're in 2 seconds deleted. I'm seriously deleted, and you're gone. And everyone who's trash talked and said horrible things and swore and all that kind of stuff, I'm not against swearing completely, but it's not appropriate on this channel. It's just not. It's not a regular thing or whatever. So you're gone. If you want to be a jackwagon about stuff, then you'll be treated like a jackwagon. I'll jack your wagon out of here. Okay? Seriously, it's ridiculous. It's redonkulous how people act like little children. I mean, seriously, I thought a lot of people who comment are adults, supposed to be adults. There are some kids, but most of them are, children in adult bodies. It's horrible. That's why this stuff's coming, because people have become so self-centered and so without any decency and common sense. So many people, not everybody, there's some great people out there, But it's just I'm so it's horrible. It's horrible how the world's become, and all the build up, all these wars that are going on, all this kind of stuff. It's about to crash. We're right on the edge, and that's why this is coming. Okay, anyway, I am on a tirade. This man, I got a soapbox up, and I'm standing on it. So sorry, but I'm not sorry. Okay, so anyway, so this is a W, and that's 23. So we'll be the 23 down. And then that's a U. So we get again this direction N M, and then M upside down is W, and that's 23. And then this way is U, which is 21. We're gonna bring that down, but we're gonna reverse the 21 to 12. What is this saying right here? It's backwards. It's going this direction. Look, 2 1 3 2 2 5. Well, I'll show you up there. It's literally February for 1 plus 23, or if you really call, you could take 1 away. 2/23 2025 or 2/1 plus 23 2025, which is 2/24 2025. Nukes going off, and by the way, in so many things, I'm not getting into that right now, but it's 23 cities. Yeah, and that'll pretty much put an end to Mystery Babylon. And whether you believe that or not, it's true. We're the land of images. We're the land surrounded by many waters. There's Babylon. There's different things. There's Mystery Babylon. We are Mystery Babylon, the land that exports its filth to the rest of the world, and all for so many years and all that stuff. And then now in 1 hour it's destroyed, and people marveling at how it's destroyed. People are going to marvel how America, this big thing, this big beast, is going to be taken down in an hour, basically. Figuratively in a sense. So anyway, but very quickly, okay, because it's the enemies within, and the government and everything are all planning this for so long, and the demons behind them. And then so again you have 2, 23, and 24, 2025, and again that's in the timeline right here, 23, 20, the last days, the 40th day and the post day. Okay, and then this is year what we just had. When I'm doing this video a couple days ago, well, a day ago, I should say, I'm doing this on the 30th. The 29th was the year of the snake, January 29th. Okay, and that's hiding 2, 1 plus 9, or 2, 9, and 2, 10. Because you take the 1 away, or 1 plus 9 is 2, 10. Okay, or on the 29th, 2 days to the end of the month, and then 9 days in February to the 9th, or 2, 9. There's all kinds of ways. All these things in the world are predictably programming, because the birth of the Antichrist is super important to all the world. All cultures and everything, some way of predictive programming this, and I'm just showing you some ways here. And for example, this is it. And the snake, I mean, hello, Satan was the snake that tempted Eve, and then ultimately got Adam tempted as well, and then made the fall of man and all that stuff. I mean, seriously, the snake, and we just entered in the year of the snake, and it was the dragon before. Dragon and the snake, talk about a transition for the Antichrist to be born. There's not a better one. And this time with wars and now all these the quad demicals, just say it that way, and all that and all this stuff happening on American soil, all these different things breaking out and everything. I mean, are you kidding me? It's mad. And then remember back when it happened in 2020, and then in China's and everything, and all that. I mean, seriously, and it just didn't take but a month to get here, and that's happened last month in China's and all that. Just say it that way, because I don't know what they're shadow banning and stuff. To say add Zuls to it, that's what I do anyway. So again, from the Chinese New Year to the beginning of this timeline is 1/29 to 2/9, which is 11 days. And then 2/9 equals Shavat on the Hebrew calendar, Shavat 11. 11 days, 11. And the Shavat is the 11th month, so that's 11/11. Any of you had dreams or seen 11/11 a lot in your in your life? I have 11/11. And then 2/9 is also 2 nines. And 99 is Jupiter, because Jupiter entered Virgo for the Revelation 12 sign, and then exited Virgo. Well, Jupiter entered Virgo to start the whole process of about 9 months inside the womb, or inside Virgo, and they came out about a little over 9 months later between the legs. And then Rapture equals 99, Jupiter equals 99, and then you see the 9 and then 1 and 1s here. See the 9 and 1 and 1s here. Anyway, hopefully you see that. So again, snake is not. All these things are planned, and if you don't understand that, I'm sorry, but English is exactly backwards of Hebrew. It's it's read backwards. Hebrew is God's language and originally, and then English is exactly backwards of Hebrew. Hebrew is read from right to left. English is read from left to right. Backwards. It should give you a clue that it's backwards and it's wrong, and it's also full of all kinds of programming and such as snake. Snake is anything you add 9 to stays the same. So sometimes you can use a 9, but then in this situation we can I haven't shared my rule of nines on this video, but you can watch past videos. In the very beginning of my videos, a lot lately, I've shared the rule of nines. You can add 9 to anything, and it comes back to the original number. Okay, so we get rid of this 9, and then we have what? We have 1 and 1 is 2, and then right here we have 14. We have 1 and 1 is 2, and then 5. Oh, and the snake just happens to equal the first attack day. Because snakes, they don't attack or anything. They don't have fangs or anything. They don't have venom or anything like that. No, nothing like that. Okay. This was an old poster that was originally in Russian. It's a Russian poster about the Russians fighting the Nazis. Defeat the fascist snake. Defeat the fascist snake. And you see this is in a symbol and all that stuff. See all this. Okay. And I'm going to show you the original Russian too. But I'm making a point with this. So first of all, the idea was that Hitler, who was also a Nazi, and the general idea of a Nazi, was the symbol of the Antichrist. He was a world leader that was trying to overtake the world. In fact, a lot of Christians at the time that fought in World War II and Christians in general thought he might be the Antichrist. So they were fighting him. They're like, oh, this might be the end times. Well, it wasn't here yet, but he was a symbol of that. Okay, I'm trying to make us. And then Nazi, okay, just happens to be 2, 14. Oh, and then 16. 1 and 6 is 16 plus 9 is 25. Oh, that's another massive off the charts coincidence. Nope. So if we have snake, and we have the snake right here, and this is backwards as well. So first, we'll go backwards, it's cat. And what's cat? Oh, 2. You don't have to use the 0. You don't have to use zeros to get rid of zeros. Or sometimes you use them for whatever reason, just for a message or something. And then 1, and then 3. So we have 213, 214, 25. So cat snake is 213, 214, 25. And that's a massive off the charts coincidence? I don't think so. I'm just going to show you, just if you believe in massive off the charts coincidences, then this is nothing. None of this is for you. If you don't believe in that and you think there's messages in this from demons, and also there can be messages from God, then in coincidence, which is by the way, in Hebrew there's no word for coincidence. Okay, there's no such word because there's no such thing as that. There's incidents that coordinate coincidences, and they coordinate because there's something behind it. That's what it really is. There's always something behind it if they coordinate. Okay, so boom. So why would the cat be red and the snake be black? Because that's all planned too. Because red, black, oh, it just happens to be 2, 9, and 25 backwards. 2, 9, 25. Huh, the first day. Oh, that's another coincidence. So again, defeat the fascist snake. Okay, why am I mentioning this? I'm going to keep going with this. So you have defeat the fascist snake, and what do you have here? What's depicted here? Basically, red cat fighting black snake. And so we have right here, what do we have? We have backwards 3 and then 24. It's other things too, but 3 and then 24. What's 324? The day with 324 days left over is February 10th. Remember, I just showed you February 9th several times. February 10th is the day with 324 days left over. And then the day the Stinky BO, the 44th Prez, and Trumple, and by the way, Trumple is short for Trumple Thinskin, or even Trumpolonius. Trumple, full of baloney, and us. Okay, or we believe in baloney with Trumpolonius. Okay, anyway, 216, and you can get rid of the 9, or you go 216, the death of Stinky BO and the 40, and Trumple, and even the Pope. Okay, 216, and then 9, you get rid of that 9, or 9 is hiding 2 plus 2 plus 5. So you have 210 and 216, 2 plus 2 plus 5, just happen to be in red cat fighting the black snake. And also that motto, which is defeat the fascist snake. We have the same exact numbers. Look, boom, 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 boom. Same exact numbers. However, this is not 324. This is backwards 10-2. Or 210, 10-2. See, this was backwards 324. And this is backwards 10-2, or 10th of February. 10th of February. See? And that's just so happens to be that. And we have the 9 as well, and 216, but just in a different way. 2916 or 2196. We still have the 9 and we still have the 216. Hopefully you see that. Look, red cat fighting the black snake, exact same numbers, but these are a little bit different, but this is the same day. 324th day of the year is 210, and 10-2 is 210, or 10-2 backwards. Hopefully you see that. This is crazy. Okay, so this is the original in Russian, and then this is translated into English. Okay, so why am I showing you all this? Because this is a general idea of what this is the Antichrist, and he is a fascist snake, because Hitler was a fascist snake, and we're trying to defeat the fascist snake. Okay, so that's because in this Kansas City Chiefs is this message, a similar message. Well, really? Yeah, really. Watch this. Fascist, Fascist, fascist in red. And look back, look at this. Snake, snake. And what do we have here? We have chi. Okay, and then what's left over? Why? Okay, what is this? Now there's always a little bit of a twist on this, so it's hard for people to see something like this. And with spiritual eyes and with the Jesus guiding me and stuff, I've done several of these over the years. I've done probably about 50. Even going back to it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. That whole phrase in the it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. First letter code. If you take all those first letters and you scramble them, it equals take off at World War III. That's when and it talks about the rapture of the right. Talking about the rapture, and the rapture is taken off at World War III. Anyway, all kinds of stuff I've shared about these kind of things. So let me show you this. What is chi and why? Okay, what is why? Well, why is 25. So the fascist snake, not chi. Why am I saying chi? It's chi. Chi is CHAI. Sorry. Okay, I see I have brain farts here and there because this is all live. I don't edit anything. I just talk off the cuff and as I'm inspired and with these slides and such on PowerPoint or whatever. So it's chi, and chi is what? Chi is CHI 389, or 9-1 and then 1 backwards. Oh, we have an event 9-1 and then 1 in 25, which is 2925. The fascist snake in 2925, or we have fascist snake chi in 25. What's chi? Chi is Chinese medicine word meaning aliveness or life force energy. Fascist snake life force energy is beginning on 2/9/25. I'm sorry if you don't see this, then I'm sorry, but it's here. Lord, guide me to this, and it's here, and it makes all the sense in the world to me. Fascist snake chi, fascist snake life force energy begins on 2/9/25, or in 25. Fascist snake chi, or the fascist snake begins on 2/9/25, or fascist snake chi begins on 25, the year 25. That's just what it is. And it's always a little twist because people think this is going to be part of a word, but it's just a number. And I have another example at the very end of this video I'm going to show you, which many others I've done in the past and I could show you, but I'm not going to do that on this video. So, and then look, Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, it just happens to be 2/9/25. How is that? Well, I'll just do it this way. So we have 4 plus 8 is 12, and then 2 is right there, and then 9 is right there, and then we have 7 and we have 7, and 7 is 2 plus 5. And then Philadelphia Eagles is clearly 2, 9, 9, and then 1 plus 6 is 7, 7 is 2 plus 5. And then Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs is 1 and 1 is 2, 9, and then 1 and 1 is 2, and then 5 is 5. Okay, and then Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl, again, 2, 2, 9, 9, 1 plus 24 is 25. It just keeps going. Chiefs versus Eagles, like this is all planned, and there's so many things I don't even know out there, and so much predictive programming, everything you see on TV, everything you consume out there, that millions of people see is going to be predictive programming and numbers and symbols and everything else. For example, Philadelphia is the Philadelphian church that's about to leave, the faithful church that's about to leave. The chiefs are the ones who are the chiefs in authority, the demons that are behind the people who are going to take over. I mean, there's just so many, and so it's natural already just by this to know the Chiefs are. If this is the last one, the Chiefs. It just makes sense. That Kansas City would defeat the Eagles. But I already showed you that Kansas City Chiefs equals the Chi, fascist snake Chi. So that tells me right there that it's a good chance. And Philadelphia Eagles, it has some stuff in there, but it's not as clear and as sharp as that. So that tells me it's most likely they're going to win. Okay, but let's keep going here. Chiefs and Eagles is 2-9-25. You could do it. You can see it yourself right there. And then Chiefs versus Eagles is 2-1 from 14-25, which is 2-13 and 2-14-25. And again, you could just do it yourself. You look at the colors and then look at the numbers, and they all make that, okay? And you can't do that with anything. People say, oh, you can make numbers, whatever. No, it's not true. I mean, yes, people have done that, but when you look at what they do, it's like, that's dumb. And you can think that about what I'm doing, but it's just not true. This stuff has been proven out, and it just keeps showing up in crazy ways, and exact numbers in so many ways. It's crazy. So this is a little bit more drawn out, yes, but it's still there. This is less drawn out. I mean, you literally have 2, 2, 9, 9, 25, 25. I mean, right there. And then you think you add 9 to say the same, you get rid of that. It's also 99, which is Rapture, which is Jupiter, which is, I mean, and then look, 2025. I mean, it's right there also. There's all kinds of things in here. This is a little bit more, you could say contrived, but no, it's in there, but it just requires a little bit more work to find it. Okay, so then Super Bowl 2025 Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. Look, again, is 2, oh, wait, do it this way. 2, 2, 9, 9, 20, and then 1 and 5. You can do it that way, 25, or just 2, 5, but you can do 20, and then 1 plus 4 is 5. A few ways. It's right there. And it keeps happening in all these different forms. Trust me, if you look at any form of number of words like this, you could make these things match if you wanted to. Try it yourself. Take anything and try to make it match. You can't. It's impossible. Okay, this is freaky. This is freaky. As of the end of 2024 season, the Eagles have an all-time record of 638 wins, 639 losses, and 27 ties in the regular season, with an additional 28 wins and 27 losses in the playoffs. Now, this is funny how they don't show you the totals here. They show you these separately from that to the playoffs. What they don't show you is what's right in front of your face. If you would read this on Wikipedia, boom, 638 wins. Boom, 639 losses for the Eagles. Okay, now we're talking about the Eagles. Now, already I'm thinking by all the stuff I know, and even things I'm not showing you yet, or can't show you at all, because there's hundreds of other things I know that I can't show in videos because it would take another 5 hours probably. That looks like Kansas City is going to beat the Eagles for a number of reasons. Just some of the things I told you already, and many other things I can't show you, and I don't have time to show you. But look, 639 losses. And then, look, 28 wins, that goes in the win category. And then 26 losses goes in the loss category. So what's 638 plus 28? Oh, it's 666. Oh, imagine that. And then what's 639 plus 26? Oh, it's 665. One short. Oh. So that means there's one more loss left, and that's in the Super Bowl. That's in the Stupid Bowl, or the Superb Owl, where they get their wisdom from, Moloch. By the way, Moloch, their wisdom is in an owl, which is the symbol in Bohemian Grove in California that they worship and all these leaders go to. And the symbol for Moloch in Europe and other parts of the world is a bull, but they both sacrifice innocence to each version of that Moloch. And then this is the worship of the superb owl, the Super Bowl, the superb owl, spelled exactly the same, but just a different break in it. I'm telling you, one more loss in the Super Bowl, and it becomes 666, 666. They need one more loss. And that's a massive, off the charts coincidence, and it has nothing to do with the birth of the Antichrist on the first day 2/9 when they would lose, Eagles would lose. Wow, if you can't see that, and you can't say there's something up here, and the number of the beast in the Bible described in Revelation 13:18 is 666, then I'm sorry. You need to check yourself from the neck up. Do a checkup from the neck up. That's what I mean to say. Crazy. And then look, Chiefs win. See, this is in so many ways out there. And I'm just going to show you a few. Chiefs win Super Bowl 59. Eagles lose Super Bowl 59. It's already in Gematria. This is already planned. It looks like. Okay, it looks like. Again, this is my best guess. It always is my best guess. Always. Always my best guess. Sorry if you can't understand that, but that's on you. That's on you, okay? This is on me, and I'm fine for it all to be on me. People go, oh, you can't do date setting. By the way, date setting, that term, is the same as conspiracy theory. That was all coined right after Kennedy was shot, and the CIA came out with this conspiracy theory phrase to silence all the people who had theories about a conspiracy. Now, if you don't understand that conspiracies are everywhere, people conspire, groups, little groups, big groups, groups, countries, and I mean all kinds of groups conspire together to do harm or do things or good. Sometimes some people conspire to do good things, whatever. But people conspire to do evil, and that's a theory. What? That happens all the time. But conspiracy theory, it's bad. It means you need to wear a aluminum hat, or what is it called? A tinfoil hat. Aluminum hat. Tinfoil hat. So you stop the beams from going into your head because you're crazy, that are controlling everybody. I mean, it's nuts. Date setting, I was told by someone who was in the CIA that date setting is also another term that they've thrown out there because they don't want anybody to know what it is. Yes, people have thrown out dates and all that kind of stuff and look like fools. I agree. But I'm guessing. I'm saying this could happen. I'm speculating. I'm always speculating about it. And if you don't like it, tough. Go somewhere else. This is my house. This is my channel. This is my house. And I will warn people, and you could take it or leave it. That's how life works. If you want to stop me or shut me up like some people do and have threatened me and my family for just warning people, then you're a fascist. You're a fascist snake. Okay? So get out of here. Or your comment will be deleted. See ya. Bye. Later. Eagles lose Super Bowl. Chiefs win Super Bowl 59. Watch this. 2, right? 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 plus 4 plus 2 is 9. Then 25. 1 plus 24 is 25. And then 25, get rid of the 0, 25 backwards, 25. And that is all a coincidence also? No, I don't think so, but maybe you think that. It's up to you. That's on you. You can believe whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you what to believe. You can think I'm a psycho, lunatic, and all that stuff, and that's on you. But I'm telling you, this stuff a majority of stuff will happen at some point. You'll see. And then hopefully you wake up at some point and see what's going on. And there's a God and there's an evil enemy and what they're trying to do. And there's two sides to a coin. One's trying to kill you, the other's trying to save you. Wake up if you haven't. Please. Please. Okay, anyway, go to the next thing here. So then I'm showing the timeline of this actual video from Heliofont, the iPad movie from iPad Go, it's iPad Go 2 from Heliofont from their website. So you see the exact timing. Now, when this vial or whatever this thing is, it's a vial or it's a vial, I think. And it goes right under the explosion because it moves. And then right as it goes under the explosion, you stop the time, it's 3:14. And then right where it stops, right there, this explosion is secretly hiding a heart. By the way, all over iPad Go, there's hearts. It's Valentine's Day. It's showing in all kinds of ways. I've shown this in all kinds of ways in my videos. Watch my past Valentine's Day stuff. Past Valentine's Day. Okay, so then that's a heart. Okay, right as it stops, it's 3:14, and that just happens to be. Okay, so it starts right at 3:14. There's a vial. There's the explosion, and that's hiding a heart. This thing comes down right there, and it's a heart. Of course, it's not pink and it's not red, because that guy have to hide it. So, but it's a heart, and there's other really obvious hearts, like the Antichrist in iPad Goat. He's got 3 hearts, heart within a heart within a heart on his chest, and that there's a reason for 3 hearts. That's Gematria as well. That's also symbolism in a lot of ways. Anyway, so 314 is what right here stops exactly 314 when these two line up. That is 3 is 2 and 1, and then 14, or February 14th, again, rid of the 1 with rule of Kalel, or 2, 1 from 14 is 13, 213, 214. And then we have the full length of iPad Go, which is 727. What is 727? Again, things can be backwards, upside down, and backwards. This is upside down and backwards. So 727 upside down and backwards becomes L2L, because 7 upside down and backwards is L. 2 stays the same, basically. It depends on the font and everything, but that's what it is. 2 upside down and backwards is 2. And look at it like a digital 2 upside down and backwards is exactly a digital 2 upside down and backwards. And then even a 7 and all that. So digital helps to see that a little bit better. But that's L2L, or L is 12 or 21 backwards, and 2 plus 12 is 14. So these come together. This is really that. And they're both come together to be 213 and 214. Because L is 12, which is 21 backwards. 2 plus 12 is L. 2 plus 12 is 14. Hopefully that makes sense. Boom. Another thing in here, we have this right here, which is upside down and backwards. This is a 2 upside down and backwards. And then right here we have NY. This is a small n and a Y for New York. This also represents in both her and him is 44 and 45 in the hair, 44 and 45 in the above right here. The VD is 44. This is 45 or 54, but it's also 45. 44th president, 45th president, the death of Trumple and Obama's. It's also in his hair. And Trumple's going to die in New York, and Sticky Vio's going to die in Hawaii, which is depicted here, and I'll show you that in a second. But right here we have 2 upside down and backwards, and then NY. This is one way to do it. 2 is 2, of course. NY is N is 14, and then Y is 25. 214, 25, Valentine's Day again. Now, if we take this whole thing like this, upside down and backwards, there's a couple ways to do it. You can just flip the 2 and then read it this way, or the 2 flips at the end, but then we'd put this over here, and then we just have to scramble it back over here. Hopefully that makes sense. So to take this whole thing upside down and backwards, and we have this. Now again, this is N. This is a small n. CL would be like a small n right there. It's kind of curved down. Again, they don't make it super obvious, because then it would be super obvious. Hello, McFly. Hello. Anyway, so my voice is a little. Anyway, I'm gonna take a drink for a second. Hello, McFly. Hello. Anyway, and then this is a U upside down because it's a small n, and then a U, just so you can kind of see how that's a U. And U is 21. And then a Y becomes an A upside down. You don't see the little thing inside the A, but that's an A. Boom. This is how this upside down and backwards stuff works, and how they hide stuff. It's crazy, and all this stuff. And then the 2 is the 2. So we literally have 2, 14, 25, and they have 221, the birth of the Antichrist, lightning falling from heaven, the tsunami day, 221, and then 2, 1 from 21 is 20. Okay, so that's right here. 220 and 221, and 213 and 214. This is when he dies. He's reported dead here, and Trumple, both CBO and Trumple, and even the Pope, Robo-Pope, Pope and Rope. And then this is when they come back to life, but it's not known to people. They'll tell people later that they did whatever. And it'll be known to some people, I think, but most people won't know yet. But he'll come back to life here, and there'll be mega tsunamis that hit both coasts at this time. It's in my timeline of pinned to the top of comments. Again, 2, 1 from 21 and 221, 220 and 221, and then 214 depicted right here. Okay. All right. And then here's something else. There's so much in this. I can't even do everything. New York is NY, New York. And New York just happens to equal in English Sumerian. English Sumerian is, so English Gematria is A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, very simple. English Sumerian, if you don't know, is times 6. So A equals 6, B equals 12, C equals 18, and so on and so forth, all the way down to Z. So it's normal times 6. So New York just happens to equal 666. No, it doesn't. It's all planned. New York is all planned to equal 666. That's why the name came up with, and that's why it is called what it's called. And then it's just a coincidence they're right here, hidden right here. And see how there's water here. This is an island with a big mountain right here. And then there's an explosion. This is hiding Hawaii. And right there is H-I. H-I for Hawaii. It's hidden, but it's right there. This is an H. It's subtle right there across me, and an I. H-I right there. And then Hawaii just happens to be in reverse English Sumerian. English Sumerian is 666. I've been talking about this for a long time. And Hawaii just happens to be reverse 666. Philadelphia has 666 wins and one away from 666 losses, and that win or that loss in the Super Bowl is going to make it 666 losses, 666, 666, and that's a coincidence? I mean, you have to be, man, I don't know what's going on with you. If you believe that, it would be a massive coincidence, but you need to check yourself, really. I'm trying to help you. For the ones who I'm talking to right now, to the ones who don't see these things and are super skeptical or think people recently said I'm on drugs, on cocaine. I mean, all kinds of ridiculous things that come out of people's mouths. It's kind of ridiculous. But I'm not surprised, because this world's turned a lot of people into children in adult bodies. It's sad. It's really sad. It really is sad. And there's a lot of great people too. So I'm thankful. And people will change and grow up and come out of this stuff when these sort of things aren't happening. That's kind of what's going to happen. So anyway, the next thing, see, look at that. I mean, that is crazy. It's right there. If you have eyes to see. If you don't, then you'll think I'm nuts and whatever. Just move on, or I'll delete you. Bye-bye. Okay, so the next thing is, you have this. This is an aircraft carrier right here. You see the curve? Sorry, I should say the angles. The angles here. This is an aircraft carrier sinking. This also had those angles right here. Angles, aircraft carrier sinking. See, 1 and 2. This is the Lincoln. This is the Truman. People can even debate about that. People say, oh, I think it's going to be this or that or whatever. It's the Lincoln, and I'll prove it by iPad Goat right here. What's this face right here that's upside down? And then I can get into this, but I'm not going to. The Truman. This is the Truman. And this is the day. This is the February 16th and 17th, the 7th and 8th day. The sinking of the Lincoln, which is basically at the same time both presidents are killed. Two aircraft carriers with presidents' names are going to be killed. The Truman, which is the true man, and Truman was a 33rd degree Mason, and he was the 33rd president. And then Lincoln, USS Abraham Lincoln, right here, and I'm going to show you that in a second, right here. Boom. This is his face upside down and backwards, part of his face, and see right here. So there it is right there. I put it right side up. This is upside down and backwards, and then I lightened it so you can see. This is the nose, the mouth, and then the beard without a mustache. He's got the Abe Lincoln beard. There's the beard, mouth, nose. That's Abraham Lincoln's face in a sense. It's kind of a cartoony version, but it's his face. And so that's on this USS Abraham Lincoln that's sinking. I'm sorry, and I years ago had an intense, ridiculous dream where I was in an aircraft carrier and I was one of the crew people or whatever, one of the sailors, I should say, and it was going down. And it was going, I mean, alarms going off, crazy people running, going down ladders, going up, going through portal, running, and I was running around, and then I go into this room and I saw Abraham Lincoln's likeness there. And I was like, what the hell? And then it was sinking, water's coming in, and people were dying. I saw this. I had this dream. And it was happening to me like I was there. And I swore I was there, and then I woke up. And then a couple years later, I was looking into the Abraham Lincoln, and because at that time I didn't even know what I was really seeing and stuff, and it took me a little while to kind of figure out what I was actually seeing, and I was looking into all this stuff later, and then I was looking at the Abraham Lincoln itself and seeing pictures, and then I saw that room where I was in and saw that depiction of Lincoln and all that I'd seen in the dream, and I'd never seen that before in my life. So, I mean, you can believe me or not, I don't care, but that's what happened. And I've had dreams of vision. I've seen tsunami waves hitting. I've seen all kinds of stuff that wait years before they're going to happen. And anyway, that's crazy. Hopefully you see this. Nose, mouth, chin. That is from nose to chin, or his beard. That is Abraham Lincoln's, depiction of him. Whatever, a cartoonish kind of version. But that's it. And then Lincoln's face upside down is 324 backwards. What was 324? And 216, the day this is going to happen is February 16th. February 16th. This is going to begin to happen and reported on February 17th, but February 16th. And that also matches, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. And I shared this before about it's in my timeline events, because he's a president, and then Lincoln, in a sense, the aircraft carrier is going to die, these other presidents are going to die, but he's going to die on the first day, which is the 324th day of the year, and then this is going to happen on the 216th day of the year. And then remember, this matches. Remember, Red Cat fighting the Black Snake is 216, and then 9 is 20. 2 plus 2 plus 5, or then just don't. This 0 can O can be, this can be O, which can be 6, and upside down and backwards is 9. Then 9 is 2 plus 2 plus 5, whatever. And then again, 324. 324 backwards in a sense, 324, 3 and then 24, not 3 then 2 then 4, 3 and then 24, or 324, and that is 10-2, or 210 is the day with 324 days left over, 324 days left over, 324 days left over, and that's the first day, the 9th and the 10th, when Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Now, I thought this would happen before the timeline, even before Trump got in. Now, it didn't happen, but I was right when I said years ago that the predictive programming showed that Harris would replace Biden, but I thought it was as the complete presidency. But no, the programming was actually showing that she would run for president and she would replace him that way. And I said that years ago, that she would replace him, but I thought it was from his death. But it looks like that she replaced him to run for the presidency, and then he's going to die after Trump was already in. But again, we'll see how that works. Sometimes you cannot figure this out. These things are so complex, but we'll see if he does. And it looks like that's what the predictive program has been showing for a long time. Okay, but see how this lines up? This lines up, boom, boom, with this exact day: defeat the fascist snake, Red Cat fighting the Black Snake, all that stuff. 324, and which is the day with 324 days left over, 10-2, or February 10th. And 10's backwards here. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then again, the day with 3, this is the 41st day of the year, or the 41st president, George H.W. Bush. By the way, these all line up with the presidents. The first day, 2-9, is the 40th day. That's Reagan. 41st day, 2-10, is George H.W. Bush. 42 is Clinton. 43 is George W. Bush, the 43rd day of the year. 44th day of the year is Obama. That's the first attack day. 44th and 45th. The 45th day of the year is Trump. I mean, it's all lined up with the presidents, the days of the year. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I believe this. Most likely, this is it. Okay, and then why 212? Remember, this is 210 and 29 and all that. 212 is another attack. Look at my timeline. I believe it could be a Trump's family. There'll also be a nukes go off in Ukraine's, because the word Ukraine is nuke Ray, and Ray is a town in Ukraine that's going to be nuked. And then that's okay. So that's going to happen on 212. And why? Because 212 is Lincoln's birthday. Back in 1809 is Lincoln's birthday. Now, if we go from Lincoln's birthday back in 1809, 212, I believe this could be the first real attack in a couple different ways. That's why it's also the day with 322 days left over. It's the 34th day of the year. The 33rd day of the year with 322 days left over. 322 Skull and Bones. So from his birthday to this February 12th, look, 216, February 16th, the death of Trump, or the Lion King, the Lincoln Lion King, death of Lincoln, and that's 216, the birth of Obama, 216th day of the year, August 4th, or 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, or it's the day Sticky Bio will and Trump will die, February 16th. See that? That's crazy. Hopefully you see that. Okay, now I'm gonna look at this now. This is one of the biggest, the main opening scene in iPet Goat. You have I, Pet Goat 2. Now I share what I, Pet Goat 2 spelled out is. No, look at this. This is insane. This whole thing just not upside down backwards, just completely like mirrored upside down. Like this is mirrored upside down is I, and then what's this? Oh, this is interesting. Now if I go like this is B6F EO9F. Now it's crazy how pet upside down backwards the T looks like an F, and I've known this for years. And the T upside down and backwards looks like an F. An F. Well, is that a coincidence? Heck no. Why would it look like an F? It looks like a small T that looks really like an F upside down and backwards, or upside down, I should say, just upside down, not actually upside down and backwards. So watch this. When we take this 6, this is a 6 now because it's upside down, and we take this E, and now we switch them. See? Now this becomes I, and then Feb backwards, and then 609F. What is that? 9 is I. Oh, look, BEF, or Feb backwards. And then we have 60, or 60. I'm going to just say 60, because 0 is hiding O. 609F. Now watch this. We have 6, and then O. O is either 15th out of the alphabet or 1 from 5. Anytime you have a 1 in front of a letter, it's 1 from. It can be 1 from that number, just like I from X in Roman numerals. 1 from 5 is 4, so we're going to make that 4. Then we have 9, and bring that down, that's 9. And then F is the 6th letter. And then now we take 6 plus 4 plus 9 plus 6 is 25. So let's bring that right up there. So what do we have? We have 9th of February 25 in this. And that's a massive off-the-charts coincidence again. Nope, Feb. We just moved that and that. And again, that's how this stuff works. You can just move things around a little bit, or turn things upside down, backwards, upside down, and backwards, whatever. And that's how they hide things. And this just has to be that? I don't think so. And then who's this jackwagon? That is Louis Lefave. He is the owner of Heliofont that made iPad Go 2. Okay, this is a picture of him with his brother about a week ago. Okay, at an art exhibit or something that he had something to do with. Okay, this guy is a Freemason, and I shared with you that I have another Freemason shared some emails that he had back and forth with Louis Lefave, admitting basically he's a Freemason. I'm not getting into all that, but I'm telling you that's the truth. Okay, and I already know from a lot of things, not just iPad Go, but other things, other accounts, other things I've found. Okay, but this guy, and his name is Louis Lefave, Louis Lefebvre, the February. Louis, it'd be loose on the February. Look at that, February, Febra. It's you say it Lefave. Let's just say it in French, Lefebvre, but it means blacksmith or craftsman or something like that. But it's February. The February. I mean, are you kidding me? I just showed you over here. 9th of Feb. See? And it's another massive coincidence that his name, the guy who produced this, is February. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, May? I mean, seriously, no. And then Lefave or Lefebvre, okay, is, watch, 2. Then 1 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 2, boom, and 2 here. So 1 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 is 21. And then 2 plus 18 is 20, plus 5 is 25. The birth of the Antichrist on 2/21/25. And that's another coincidence. And then the whole thing, all of iPad Go 2 is about the birth of the Antichrist. And that's the day of the birth of the Antichrist, the 20th and the 21st of this year. Yeah, right. Also, if you look at just the number right here that all these numbers add up to is 75. What's that hiding? 7 plus 5 is 12. And then 12, you decompress numbers. 12 is made up of 10 and 2. Or, February 10th, 25, 20, 21, 25. That, I'm telling you, believe it or not, it's right here. February 10th, the first day, 29 and 210, and then 220 and 221 is the birth of the Antichrist. Lightning falling from heaven, Barack Obama. Jesus said in Luke 10:18, I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven, and lightning from heaven or lightning from the heights, it originally translated from the original Aramaic Hebrew is Barack Obama. And that exactly equals Barack Obama. I mean, are you kidding me? That was my number one of over 1,000 solid evidences I have that Stinky B.O. Barack Obama is the Antichrist. And that was number one years ago. Now I have over 1,000. Nobody comes close. Nobody. Okay, then last thing I'm going to show you here is the Oroville Dam. The reason I'm saying the Oroville Dam is because it's going to be reported in the media as the breaking of the Oroville Dam, okay? And the Oroville Dam is on my timeline. It's a dam breaking. It's water breaking for the birth on the first day, 2/9/25. You have 2, 9, 1 plus 15 plus 9 is 25. The Oroville Dam. Now, why am I sharing this with you at the end of this video? Because here's the Oroville Dam, which had the spillway break in February a few years ago. It just happened to be in February a few years ago, and I'm not getting into all that. I could show you exactly numerically what the day it happened in February, 2017. It was. Now I think it was 2017. Anyway, or not, well, I can't remember now. Anyway, but I have all that stuff. Anyway, but I didn't want to make that point and spend more time on it. But watch this. This is insane, okay? And I shared this years ago, but I want to bring it back up to show you. Again, we have another one of my first day events that will tell you if this stuff happens, then this stuff's coming, man, on the first day. So this could happen. So on 2/9, like I showed you here, 2/9/25, exact numerology of the Oroville Dam. And if you look at the history of this thing, I mean, it's redonkulous how they've really made this thing. They've not taken care of it, and it's all been on purpose. So this thing breaks when the timing is right, and they basically push it over the edge. And that same thing with the Three Gorges Dam in China. It's basically cracking and all kinds of stuff, and it will go. It may go on the same day, if not the fourth and fifth day, most likely, but it could be the same day. And again, the dams are breaking, symbolizing of the breaking of the water for the birth of the Antichrist. That's what this is all about. And then dam is opposite of mad, and reverse of mad, and people are going to go mad on the fifth day, and that's what I'm about to show you. This is also forecasting the fifth day. So 2/9 would be the Oroville Dam. Now, this is an anagram. The Oroville Dam is an anagram, believe it or not, exactly for E till Hoover Dam. I mean, can you believe this? And Jesus guided me to this years ago. And what does that mean? E till Hoover Dam. Again, it's always a little twist. Remember, the other one had a Y at the end of chi, okay? And then we have an E at the beginning because it's a number. Okay, so most people, if they try to do this, they wouldn't understand it because they don't know that they're looking for full words and everything. But E is here because it's a number. What's E till Hoover Dam? Well, E is the fifth letter of the alphabet. So 5 till Hoover Dam. Because on this day when this happens, and all the people are told all over the world and the country or whatever that Oroville Dam just collapsed and broke. The Oroville Dam just broke. Okay. In it, they don't know they're being predicted programmed in the name, the Oroville Dam, that is E or 5 days till Hoover Dam breaks on the 14th. 2/9 plus 5 days is 2/14. When Las Vegas gets hit on the 13th/14th, and that Hoover Dam's right there in vicinity of Las Vegas, right down the road a piece or whatever. I mean, seriously, look at that. Hopefully you understand that, because this is massive. This is an anagram of that. And Hoover Dam is in the Oroville Dam. I mean, how Jesus led me here. I mean, how would I freaking know that? Seriously, think about it. Bam. I want to leave this with this, and then also a little gif about Stinky BO showing you, listen, in all my videos, I give little pieces here and there of how this guy is the man of sin. He is the Antichrist. And I'm sorry, if anybody thinks it's somebody else, there's all this stuff because Trump just was elected. There's all these people saying now that he's the Christians saying he's the Antichrist because, he's doing all this stuff and all that. He is not. He's not the Assyrian. He couldn't be an Assyrian at all. And how is he a clone and all that kind of, I mean, how is he a beast? Obama's a beast because he's a man and he's a clone. He's a clone of Akhenaten, the Egyptian pharaoh. And I'm going to show that in a second here in a little 2 gifs I put together a while back. Okay. And I'm going to show that here in a second. But first, I want to show you kind of comically how Osama bin Laden is Obama Sin Laden. You just switch the B and the S. You just switch his BS because he's full of BS. Barry Soetoro. BS. Switch the S and B to BS, and you have Osama bin Laden is Obama sin laden. And what is laden? Laden means heavily loaded or weighed down, or laden with sin, the man of sin. He is the man of sin. See, this is how the enemy speaks, and you have to listen. And you have to mainly listen to Jesus if you want to know the truth, like this kind of stuff. This guy was, if you look at this guy's head, pictures of his head all over here. He has scars all over his jaw and his back of his ear and his head, back of his head, because he's had so much reconstructive surgery to go from himself to something else, to this jackwagon, back to himself when he was in the Senate, when he was in Illinois Senate, and then he was in the U.S. Senate. During that time, when he was in Chicago Senate, he played this dude. He is a asset of the CIA since he was 12, at least since he was 12, maybe probably before. Judge Joe Brown has a video out there that I have on my channel where he talks about how George H.W. Bush was his handler when he was a kid. He was cloned and he was a kid. He didn't talk about him being cloned, but he was his handler and gave him, when he'd come see him as a kid, he'd give him candy. That's why George Bush Jr., George W. Bush, gives candy to Michelle Obama. Michael and I, George W. Bush gives candy to Michelle, like at funerals and different stuff and different things, because it's all an homage to his father, who gave candy to the young Obama when he was a CIA asset, and George W. Bush was the director of the CIA. Hello, McFly. I mean, seriously, this stuff's going on behind the scenes, and you need to know what's coming so you can help share this with your friends and family to know what the Lord's doing and what who's saving and who is not going to come. It's crazy. Okay, hopefully you see this. If you don't, I don't know what to say. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, and what I'm going to do right now is show you two gifts of kind of a blending in. It's at first it's slowly. You see Obama, he's going to blend into Osama bin Laden. So you can see how his eyes line up, his face lines up, his nose lines up exactly. And he is the Assyrian. And also after that, you're going to see how he blends in his face, and it's going to show how using a book and the statue, or a face or a bust, part of a bust of Akhenaten, how it blends in with Obama's face perfectly. And I've shown this all over. I mean, how his face is perfectly matched, the nose, the mouth, everything matches Akhenaten, and the numerology matches. Akhenaten exactly equals Barack Obama in Gematria and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so we're going to do that next. So I'm going to leave it at that, and right now I'm going to thank you. So I'm going to do these gifts right after this. But first I want to thank everyone who's ever supported me. And I'm going to thank all these viewers and everything. I'm in my part one. I mean, now it's probably going to be over 18,000 views, and I haven't had that for a couple years almost. It's crazy. Something's going on with the Lord. I think he's pulling off their chains on YouTube, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe this the enemy's letting it at the end. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know. It's crazy how this is going on, because I'm so used to them blocking everything and shutting down so much and just getting a few thousand views for a while now. Even though I share such pure truth and I show such mind-boggling evidence, I think, because Jesus guides me to this stuff, and my mind gets blown every single time. Every single time. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who's supported me during this whole time. Anyone who's ever given prayers. Thank you for all your prayers that protect my family. I mean, I have gotten I've literally had people threatened my life and my family and my children for this stuff. And you dare to come at me and say you're crap? And I've been through hell with all this for years. And I rely on gifts from people. And that's how I support my family. If you're able to give, please, I thank you. We need it even still. I mean, it's never enough. It seems like I don't get a bunch of stuff and then I'm living high on the hog and everything. No, it's always scraping by. It's just enough. I mean, maybe the Lord's planned it that way. I don't know. But it's just scraping by. But it requires that people give. So if you're able to give, links in the description box below for PayPal. You can also sign up for ZellePay at zellpay.com, ZELLE pay.com, and you can transfer, interbank transfer. It doesn't cost any money or anything like that. Also have a P.O. box. You want to send it that way. But thank you so much to people who have given. If you're able to give, please, we need it. And anybody who's given positive comments and support, I so appreciate that. And there's times I just wanted to give up so many times over the years. I mean, so many times. But the Lord just keeps me going. And then all these wonderful people that I want to support and all the people that don't believe. If you don't believe, I want to convince you that there's something going. You got to actually see that there's something going on here. You think that the life that you live and everything is all what the media tells you? You can't believe it. It's deeper than that. It's more controlled than that. There are 13 ruling families that basically control the world. If you don't, those are the trillionaires. You don't, isn't it crazy? You hear about these different billionaires like Trump and like Elon Musk and everything, but you don't hear about the trillionaire families like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Onassises and all these different families, the 13 ruling families that control all these people in all these countries. And they're the ones controlling everything. They're the manipulators. And at the very top now is Stinky BO, this thing that they made in a lab from DNA from Akhenaten and some DNA from the Queen. She is its mother in a sense, but not really. But he's from her in some degree because it has to have the same lineage and everything because they come from one of the tribes, and so he has to as well. He's from the tribe of, they're from the tribe of Dan, so is he. That's what it says in the Bible. He would be that. Anyway, so, and I have all this research, and I've shared some of it, and even some of it, the Lord's telling me He doesn't want me to share because He wants people to figure out for themselves. He wants people to struggle and all this kind of stuff. So it's not as simple as you think. I don't share everything, and I have personal experience I could share that it would blow you out of your freaking mind. But I can't. I won't. He can't. You know, I can show you certain things, and that's it. And that's the way it is. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully. So right after this, right now, I'm going to show you those gifs of Obama's face blending into this jackwagon, Osama bin Laden, who he is, who he was, and then also Obama blending into Akhenaten and showing how those faces exactly match, and make your own conclusions, whatever. And then if this stuff actually starts happening, then you know I'm right, and you know I'm telling you the truth. You know Jesus is right. That's the most important thing. I'm just saying it that way because then it's correct. But Jesus is showing me this. You know that Jesus is existing, and He's telling me and telling other people the truth. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. This is Exalted Lamb 1, and watch the next thing right after this. Over and out.